Y'all see him in the streets struggling, young, dumb, and thuggin', give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun.
What's up, guys? Just here back on my channel. We're back to the reaction to Chernobyl. This is episode 2. Please remain calm. And looking at it now, I don't think I actually said the title to the first episode, which is 123:45. So there you go. But I was actually very impressed by that first episode, and I was informed that what we're seeing is a fairly accurate depiction and account of how it all played out, which is just insane to me because I let you guys know I don't have a lot of knowledge on the actual events or the disaster itself. So now knowing that what I'm watching is a fairly accurate depiction makes it all the more scary for me. But we started to see some of the aftermath effects at the end of the episode where birds started to fall from the sky in the schoolyard, where kids are walking and babies are being born in the hospital. We started to follow some of the civilians who were watching the explosion, kind of admiring the light show, taking it all in, where they started to taste the metal for themselves. And now they're going to have to suffer some of the consequences because of their so-called leaders who were in complete denial throughout the entire episode. And man, it was infuriating to watch, but I know it's going to get even more rough from here, so I'm not going to waste any more time. If you guys look at my full reactions to the show, link to my Patreon is down in the description below. Now subscribe to the channel. Now's a very good time to click that button down below. Smash the like button while you're there. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's check it out. Let's go. 7 hours after the explosion.
You work too hard.
Where is everyone?
Oh, they refused to come in.
Why?
It's Saturday.
Oh, I was gonna say, the explosion. Man, she's right to work. Look at the difference. These people are proficient.
ID 131. It's not military, it's uranium decay, U-235.
Uranium.
Reactor fuel.
I said plutonium last episode, so apologies for that.
Yes, this is Ulana Homyuk with the Institute of Nuclear and... Looking for... They're at 4. It's not them. Who's the next closest?
It's Chernobyl. That's not possible. They're 400 kilometers away.
ID.
You'd think the world would know at this point. I know it's the 80s, but
We'll be seeing other isotopes.
Nuclear test.
for something this massive,
No one's answering the phone.
not a good sign. Back to it. We saw us start at the end of the last episode. We started being rushed to the hospital. They thought it was going to be a quiet night, too.
What are you doing? What is that?
Milk. It's milk. Much better than water.
No, stop, stop!
What are you doing?
These are radiation burns. Their clothes are contaminated. Get it all off.
Yeah.
I'm taking it down to the basement.
She's in. She's going to see it for herself, though. Just how bad it really is.
I'm pleased to report that the situation in Chernobyl is stable. In terms of radiation,
Stable, eh?
Plant Director Bricano reports no more than 3.6 Srontgen.
If there is nothing else, meeting adjourned.
He's speaking up.
I'm so sorry. Page 3, the section on a fireman was severely burned on his hand by a chunk of smooth black mineral. Graphite. There's graphite on
He
the
just straight up picked it up.
Well, there was a tank explosion. There's debris.
Inside the core, if there's graphite on the ground outside, it means it wasn't a control system tank that exploded. It was the reactor core. It's over.
Finally, one of the higher ups is finally understanding.
I think the true number is much, much higher. If I'm right, this fireman was holding the equivalent of 4 million chest x-rays.
But 3.6 was their
All I
maximum.
hear is a man I don't know, engaging in conjecture, in direct contradiction to what has been reported by party officials.
Please may I express my concern as
Somebody's gotta
calmly
speak up.
and as respectfully as
Where's the
Of
legato?
course, I will allow it.
Thank you. They're ready to go home to their wives.
an RBMK reactor uses uranium-235 as fuel. Rain will bring them down on us. That's
All of
3
Europe.
million, billion, trillion bullets in the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. Most of these bullets will not stop firing for 100 years.
100 years.
Some of them not for 50,000 years.
50,000.
Comrade Shabina, I want you to go to Chernobyl. You take a look at the reactor, you personally, and you report directly back to me.
Yeah, you
Right
go.
decision.
And take Professor Legasso with you.
Forgive me, Comrade General Secretary, but I
Do
don't...
you know how a nuclear reactor works?
No.
No. Well, then how will you know what you're looking at?
Exactly. We do see him later, though, 2 years later. So we know he survives this trip.
How does a nuclear reactor work?
What?
It's a simple question.
It's hardly a simple answer.
How long is this flight?
If we put enough uranium atoms close together, the bullets from one atom will eventually strike another atom. The force of this impact splits that atom apart, releasing a tremendous amount of energy. Fission.
And the graphite.
Yes. In RBMK reactors, we surround the fuel rods with graphite to moderate, slow down the neutron flux.
Good. I know how a nuclear reactor works.
That was a lot to take in. I was trying to focus.
I don't need you.
Take away from him, please.
Get away from them.
Oh my God.
You want to get sick? Go.
Please take her. Please take her. Please take her.
Baby.
Please.
Excuse me, I'm Vasily Ignatenko's wife. He's a fireman. Ignatenko? Ignatenko, 6th Paramilitary Fire and Rescue
don't
Unit. I
care.
need to find him. Please.
He's being transported by helicopter to Moscow. Hospital number 6.
Why, is he all right? Can I see him?
You want to see him? Go to Moscow.
But they're not letting us leave here.
Tell them Major Burov allows it.
Oh, wow. All right, so she's going with.
We're approaching a power plant. What have they done?
Yeah.
Look, that's graphite on the roof. The whole building's been blown open. The core's exposed.
I can't see how you can tell that from here.
For God's sakes.
If we can't see, we don't know. Get us directly over the building.
Still.
Directly over. Dead within a week, dead!
Sir, get us over that building, or I'll have you shot.
Wow.
If you fly directly over that core, I promise you by tomorrow morning you'll be begging for that bullet.
Finally, somebody think for themselves. When it's your life, stop taking orders. That just pissed me off, though. He's like, we fly over that, we're gonna die within a week. Well, if we don't fly over that, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head.
Professor Legasov, I understand you've been saying dangerous things.
Very dangerous things. Apparently our reactor core exploded.
Why did I see graphite on the roof? Graphite is only found in the core, where it's used as a neutron flux moderator, correct?
He's using what he learned.
Tommy, why did the Deputy Chairman see graphite on the roof?
That's not possible.
Saw it, we just flew in.
Concrete.
Now there you made a mistake. Because I may not know much about nuclear reactors. I know a lot about concrete.
Our high-range dosimeters have just arrived. We could cover one of our trucks with lead shielding. Mount the dosimeter on the front.
All right, send it in. He's in the heart of it now.
He's back.
It's not through wrong yet. It's 15,000.
Comrade Sabina.
What does that number mean?
So it means the core is open.
20 hours since the explosion, so 40 bombs worth by now.
Holy shit.
Who's in score, Comrade?
You sons of bitches.
To the local party headquarters. Thank you for your service.
All right.
Your excuse.
Because of these bitches, we're already like 20 hours behind.
We'll use helicopters. Drop water on it like forest. You don't understand. This isn't a fire. You are dealing with something that has never occurred on this planet before.
Where are you going?
Going to get you 5,000 tons of sand and boron.
It's a start, I guess.
Moscow. Are you here because of the fire?
Anything we should be worried about?
There's a lot you should be worried about.
No.
Don't you want to help people? I guess they can't evacuate either way. Here we go, the wildlife. Saw the birds last episode. Morning, April 27, 30 hours after the explosion. And I would not want to be the ones flying those pilots.
We want you up inside the perimeter. Not copy. Not breaking up.
And they're gone. Oh, it fucking melted it.
Is there any other way, Pegaso?
Man, look, they're just sending people into their deaths right now. I know it's gotta be stopped, but fuck.
How nice of you to phone. It's been too long.
It has.
I was actually calling about our friend. Yes, it's extremely hot. But his nephews are flying down.
And they always bring cool weather.
Oh, which nephews? Simka, who's 14, and little Boris, who's 5.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Children can make you
You got
even
the little
hotter.
code.
They're crawling all over you.
That was slick.
They're dropping sand and boron on the fire.
Where you going?
Chernobyl.
What the? Brave woman.
The Americans took satellite photos. The reactor building, the smoke, the fire. The whole world knows.
There you go. Took 30 hours.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened. The Soviet version is this. One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant in the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died.
Внимание! Внимание! Уважаемые товарищи!
This would feel like the end of the world for me. If this started going down here, I would automatically start thinking like, fuck it, the apocalypse. I've seen enough horror movies and TV shows, Walking Dead. You have the people that refuse to leave. Especially the older people, like, hey, I've lived here my entire life, I'm going down with the ship. Well, they did it. Just 36 hours too late.
We have to start a radiological survey, sector by sector, on foot, dosimeters in hand. Are you all right?
See just how far spread this goes.
Of course.
The guards arrested this woman at the south checkpoint. I'd have put her in a cell.
But he thought you should know that I know. I know the graphite's on fire, the fuel is melting, and you're dropping sand and boron on it, which you probably thought was smart, but you've made a mistake. Smothering the core will put the fire out, but the temperature will eventually increase. It will melt down.
Perfectly aware. But I estimate at least a month before it melts through the lower concrete pad, which gives us time.
No, you don't have a month. You have approximately 2 days.
Holy shit.
Yes.
I confirmed it with plant personnel. The tanks are nearly empty.
No, they were nearly empty.
Fire hoses are still connected. They've been gushing water into the structure this whole time.
I have 10 minutes. Then I'm back on the phone, apologizing to our friends.
There is some good news. The airdrops are working to douse the fire, but the fire will not be extinguished for at least another 2 weeks. The uranium will melt the sand, creating a kind of lava, which will begin to melt down through the shield below.
You have made lava.
This the elephant's foot?
I believe there was time to reinforce this lower concrete pad before the lava reached the earth and contaminated the groundwater, but as it turned out, I was worried about the wrong thing.
Her turn.
When the lava enters these tanks, it will instantly superheat and vaporize, causing a significant thermal explosion. Everything within a 30-kilometer radius will be completely destroyed, including the 3 remaining reactors at Chernobyl.
It just keeps on getting worse.
And will impact all of Soviet Ukraine, Latvia, as well as Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, and most of East Germany.
Okay, I didn't even realize that.
What do you mean?
I'm half Hungarian too.
But we may have a solution. We can pump the water from the tanks. Unfortunately, the tanks are sealed shut by a sluice gate, and the gate can only be opened manually.
That's a lot to ask.
We will need your permission.
My permission for what?
They'll likely be dead in a week.
She's just coming out with
We're
it.
asking for your permission to kill 3 men.
In order to save, what was it, 60 million?
Comrade Legasso, all victories inevitably come at a cost.
Sounds like a yes to me. Pretty much in order to do what you gotta do to put a stop to it.
And of course, any volunteers will be rewarded. A yearly stipend of 400 rubles.
You even know how contaminated it is.
Oh, they know.
I don't have an exact number. You don't need an exact number to know if it will kill us.
You just come out with
Why
it.
should we do this? For what, 400 rubles?
You'll do it because it must be done.
You fucking do it then. I mean, if you're like terminally ill or something, you want to do something, make sure your family is protected and financially set afterwards, I would understand that, but the way about it here, yeah, we'll give you 400 rubies. And you'll get a promotion.
Baranov.
They're actually willing. God bless these men. I don't know if you guys have ever played Fallout. This is exactly what it reminds me of right now. When you step in like radioactive water, you just hear that it's going off. You hear that shit? Equipment's dying. Panic attack. What a way to end the episode. Give me anxiety for the rest of the night. All right, guys, another fantastic episode. It's kind of weird saying that though, because we're basically seeing people in their demise and their ultimate fates. Man, it is freaking brutal. Those 3 people at the very end there being sent in there, God rest their souls, because that was freaking brutal to see. As I even said at the very end of the episode too, it reminded me exactly of Fallout, any game in the Fallout series. When you step in radioactive water, your detector starts going off just like that. When it reaches a certain point, it's death. So definitely, we know what actually happened to them right then and there. Honestly, I don't even know how they made it that far, which is absolutely crazy. But wow, this episode, for the first part of it, it was pissing me off once again too, because we saw the higher ups. They were still in complete and sheer denial. And man, do you know how infuriating that is to watch? Because we know, we're listening, I know I'm listening to the scientists and everything that they're explaining to everyone. They're trying to tell them like just how bad the scenario is, just how bad the situation is. And then that one girl at the start too, see how quickly she was acting? Like, why was somebody like her not in charge? Or we need people like that as politicians, not just scientists, because the second she noticed something was wrong, she's like, wait, sticks out like a piece of cloth or a tissue. She like gets a little sample. She like runs, goes and tests it. She's like, oh shit, iodine or something. Yeah, we gotta fix this. We're in serious trouble. She starts making calls right away. The first one she calls like, oh, it's not them. The next one she calls Chernobyl. She's like, all right, we gotta fix this shit. So yeah, and then she went right to the heart of it too herself. So that woman, super brave herself, man. I was saying like, for myself, I'd be going the opposite direction. Obviously, I'm not like a nuclear physicist though, so when in the face of danger, I go the opposite way. Fight or flight, these scientists, these nuclear physicists, man, major props to them, because I feel like it could have been a lot worse. Who knows just how bad this world would be today if these people didn't step up and actually go to the heart of it to try to fix things and actually do something about it. Of course, the first dude, he didn't really want to go any further. Once he knew it was bad, he was even saying to them, like, yeah, if you fly over there, we are all fucked. We're going to die within a day. And we saw the one helicopter fly over it after. It was a lot quicker than a day. That was like instant. I don't know what exactly happened to that helicopter. At first I was thinking, because it looked like the propeller stopped. So I was like, wait, did it like fucking melt? Is that the reason why it went down? Or it could have just been like sheer radiation where the pilot just died from that and just completely stopped handling it, stopped piling it. So yeah, I don't know exactly what went down with that chopper, if it was just like decayed instantly or if the pilot died instantly, but regardless, that shit went down. They died almost instantly. So that was rough to see. But the one physicist, he was saying at the very start too, he's like, man, if we fly over this, we're gonna die within a day. And then the guy's like, if we don't fly over this, I'm gonna shoot you right here. So that was basically, he's basically on his own suicide mission, being forced to go in there when he knows just how bad it is and he doesn't want to be there either. So as smart as he is though too, he got the one thing wrong, and I gotta look that up. What is boron? I probably should know this, but I want to look this up right quick. Boron? I've never even heard of this before, but it's a trace element that is naturally present in many foods and available as a dietary supplement. It is a structural component of plant cell walls and is required for plant growth, pollination, and seed formation. Is this the right thing? Boron? B-O-R-O-N? I think I searched for the right thing. So yeah, sand and that, whatever that is, I'd never heard that before. That was his initial plan to basically put a stop to the fire. And he even said too, like, I'm learning a lot from this. I feel like I'm back in science class here, which is very interesting. It's a lot to take in though, because I made a joke too during the episode. I was like, man, I feel like I'm back in high school being ripped in science class. It's a lot to take in. So some of the stuff he was explaining, it was definitely, some of it might have gone over my head, but I definitely picked up on some things where he was saying it's not just like your regular fire either. Like, it's going to basically keep on going. So when you think it's done, it's going to keep on going under the sand. When you think that it's covered and put out, it's going to heat right back up again. So that was definitely interesting. But thank God for that one woman, because she was the one that actually showed up and told him, like, I see what you're trying to do right now, but there's more that you're not thinking about afterwards. Like, it's not going to put a complete stop to it. And he was even saying, like, yeah, we've already thought about that too. He started getting a little bit cocky there when he first met with Yulana, I think it was. So yeah, thank God for her, because she was further explaining that basically just how bad it is and what they're doing is still not enough, because with the water that was being pumped in and the tanks being full, now that's going to cause, or that could be the root of even more explosions, which is even more damage, which is basically means we're even more fucked in the long scheme of things. So yeah, this episode was nuts, man. I'm glad that we reached a certain point now though, where people are kind of out of that denial stage. That was really pissing me off. And like I said, it was infuriating to watch for the first, like, I don't know, third of the episode. We still had to deal with that a bit. That one dude that was going in there, he's like, when he's first meeting, I don't know who the one dude that he was meeting with, where he basically had the one mark on his head, where he was actually listening. The one commander though, he's like, you definitely made the right decision by choosing me to go in there, and I will definitely report back to you by how minuscule this whole situation is. And then the physicist is like, no, he actually spoke up. So that was great to see, because he was also chosen to get sent in there to actually let them know, like, he's like, the one dude, he's like, do you know how a nuclear works or nuclear core works? He's like, no, a nuclear reactor works. And I even said myself, like, no, I don't know. It's like, then why am I sending you? We got to send that other dude with you. You can go with him and you can learn a thing or two. So that was great to see. I did enjoy their conversation on the helicopter ride over, where he was actually explaining how a nuclear reactor works. That's where I kind of got lost a little bit there. But for the most part, I do understand now. But yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that we are seeing, because still more of the aftermath. We saw some more wildlife just already dead, not even like dying, already dead in the forest there. We saw the major evacuation finally. The only thing about the evacuation is it was 36 hours already too late when they finally got it started. So yeah, that should have been going down within an hour of the explosion, but obviously because of everybody's incompetence and being in sheer denial, now these people are fucked and probably going to have to face long-term side effects and consequences because of that. The one dude even brought up the potential for cancer, which is most likely going to be all their fates, which is honestly freaking brutal, man, because these are innocent people, civilians. Like, they had nothing to do with the explosion. And then when they should have got out, like, the people that are in charge, the higher-ups, the politicians, all the people in power, people that we look to kind of protect us kind of in these scenarios, in these situations, they're the ones that are refusing to believe that just how serious this whole situation is. So yeah, on to the next episode. 3 more to go, guys. As always, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys can like, subscribe, really helps my channel grow. Until next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't fun enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, damn. You play me like a yo-yo and shit, well, I'm not the